to the rebirth of Neo Reality Entertainment. Okay, so welcome to the official launching phase videos of Pop Culture Omniversa. Couple of backstory notes. I was struggling to come up with a name for this related YouTube channel, so I reread some stuff trying to get an idea, and then I thought of Omniversa when I reread Dark Knight's death metal Rise of the New God, and I liked that, so I said Pop Culture Omniversa. Neo Reality presents Pop Culture Omniversa, all things entertainment, and yeah, you'll see the logo. So, we're going to do these launching stuff to go ahead and kick off everything with this launching phase. So, stay tuned for that. So, here is the subject of today's Pop Culture Omniversa. Avengers 39. Also Volume 8 of the Avengers series. This is the prologue to the Enter the Phoenix storyline, which is the return of the Phoenix, because of course we have to bring back the Phoenix. So, yeah. The Enter the Phoenix story is this next big tale in the Marvel universe for the Avengers, and there was a reference to this event coming in the X of Swords event, where Jean Grey says that the Phoenix Force is coming back, but it's not here for her, and that she fears that there will be a calling. And who wants to tag along for that ride? Ain't ya, bub? Yeah, Wolverine's gonna be part of this event because he has to be everywhere. At this point, he should just be given an honorary title of Ambassador of Krakoa, with the way he keeps popping up everywhere in the Marvel Universe, gathering people who want with offers to come, or when it relates to, well, everything else. He's the Batman he's the answer to DC's Batman, essentially. So, this issue doesn't really have the Avengers in it. Instead, it has the first ever Phoenix user, which starts off the tale a million years ago. Because, of course, and it has to be someone who just happens to look like Jean Grey and have red hair. Why? Why is this a tradition? Does every single person have to look like Jean Grey? Yeah. So let's get into this. And there came a day unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes found themselves united against a common threat. On that day, the Avengers were born, to fight the foes no single superhero could withstand. Yes, unless it's the Scarlet Witch, in which case we are all royally screwed. The fiery cosmic force known as the Phoenix has inhabited countless mortal hosts over the millennia. The Phoenix Force history on Earth dates back to the very dawn of human and mutant life over 1 million years ago. And like I said, even though this is the event for the Avengers, this is mainly a prologue story focusing on one character that's not in any of the Avengers or any Marvel character. And the title of this chapter is The Burnt Place. 1 million B.C.E. My first memory is of rustling feathers and hungry eyes. Yes, we call it cannibalism. Looking deep into me, into my marrow. I'd only just been born, but I still remember the smell of death from that day. The charred, cold stench of it all around me. My first memory was of the burnt place. Ah, yes, the burnt place. We can never forget that place. I don't remember my parents. I just know they left me there, bloody fresh from the womb. They threw me away after barely one look at me. Yeah, it's probably that red hair. For some reason, they have a discriminatory policy toward anyone that has a different hairstyle that's not brown. They left me in the burnt place to die. And it looks like it's the end until the wolves are here. In this raw, primordial world, fear is the most plentiful of our natural resources. Fear grows like the fiercest of weeds. Yes, sadly, people do not get drunk off of it. It is mainly because fear is the mind killer. Change seems ever audacious, but fear always comes easy. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of red. And the wolves are ready to looking menacingly glowering at the young little baby. But instead they take her back to their location. The bones were of others who were born different, somewhat simple way, like me with my red hair. Born of a different shade, different size, too many fingers on one hand, eyes that didn't work the usual way, or maybe their difference came from worshipping the moon instead of the sun, loving a man instead of a woman, preferring leafy greens to charred mammoth meat. So this is a tale of discriminatory policies. Oh, I hate humanity sometimes. We suck, don't we? Among tribes all over the area, the people who were different were left to the burnt place to die. Except I didn't die. I was raised by the wolves. The bastards. I'm the only thing that ever came to the wretched blackened wasteland where nothing ever grows to learn to live. And we see her grown up at 10 years old, all roaring with the wolves, charging at their next prey. Ah, those poor bastards. I still don't understand why the wolves saved me. Years later, I tried asking them in my own way. Yeah, we see some adorableness where she's wrestling with them and cuddling with them. But wolves wrap their secrets up deep and tight. One of the many reasons I've come to love them so. As I grew, becoming a part of the wolf pack, I found myself returning to that burnt place every now and then, though never for hunting, not for meat at least. And she throws a rock at one of the crows and charges at them to scare them off. I knew I wasn't a wolf. Yeah, I was secretly a mutant, but we don't know that yet. But I always knew that I didn't belong with the tribe who abandoned me. So what was I often wondered, staring up at the distant fires in the night sky. And whatever I was, were there more of me? Don't hurt him. Because long and behold, they see a one-eyed baby. My God. Odysseus kills this kid in the future. He grows up to be a powerful force only to be drunkenly fooled. Old and screams at the top of his lungs to his fellow brethren, "Nobody has blinded me!" Because the ogres are stupid. No, wait, not ogres, the Cyclops. I'll take the child. And the girl growls because she doesn't understand what exactly to say because she was never taught English or any other language. But this force talks to her and she can't understand what she's hearing. She says that in her narration. I didn't understand what I was hearing. I'd never heard words spoken before. I also didn't understand that I wasn't hearing them on the outside. I took it as some sort of delivery, and like my parents, I gave in to fear. For a time. And the strange floating fella takes the Cyclops baby back to a cave. But when we can open our minds to as yet unexplored, we may have found our apprehension giving way to intrigue. What if I wasn't the only two-legged creature who was different? What if somewhere I had a tribe of my own, where I'd know if I saw them? Something told me I would. You're the one the wolves took. Yes, this muted caveman goes ahead and speaks with floating telepathy, and she is utterly shocked. Don't run, I won't hurt you. This cave is a safe place, I promise you. Yes, my voice is inside your head, and they tell me things you'll understand. They talk to you. They talk to you. I had to listen to that because I watched. Actually, I don't know how I even know about that song, but I hear voices in our head. They counsel me, they understand, and they talk to you. I have the ability to see the future, don't I? I apologize for the intrusion, but it's the only way I can speak. And words are such a rare gift in this world, no matter how they're delivered. A gift you don't possess, I see. I hope you can at least feel the peace and the truth behind my thoughts, and the regret as well, as I'm afraid I must offer you another apology. I'm sorry I didn't help you. I was watching when you were brought to the burnt place. As a baby, I was too afraid to move such as I can. But after you were taken by the wolves, I vowed to never stand by again and watch one of us die. I thought they would have eaten you, but here you are, back from the dead. Tell me, girl with hair like fire, would you like to come home now? I didn't understand his mind sounds. I didn't understand even the idea of words, but somehow I can feel his meaning, and I just hoped the wolves would understand as well. They howled for many days when I left, and there would be many nights to come when I wished I'd stayed, but I knew I had to go. I knew for the first time in my life, it's okay, no one will hurt you here. We're your tribe now, Firehair. No matter where you were from before, you don't have to be afraid anymore. None of us do. I'd find where I belonged. Where the tribe without fear. And thus we see the birth of the mutant population, and one with spiky redness, as one who can stretch their limbs like Reed Richards, one who looks like he's part molten lava. And we see goats, and what looks to be a male version of cheetah, but with less muscle and strength, and one that looks like a mutated bat. Yes. The Injustice League. In this new tribe, we were all different, but some were different more than others. Some could do amazing things. They hadn't been born that way, but once the changes came over them, they knew that's who they were meant to be. He helped them see that, helped them control their unique abilities. I don't even know his name, and if he ever had one, he was the voice in all of our heads, the strongest person any of us had ever known. Firehair. Firehair, are you alright? And she is developing psionic abilities. Well, we're screwed. She's the next fire. She's going to be the first Phoenix. I've come to call him the High Walker, and if I ever never met him, I know without a doubt I would have gone mad that day. The day I found out just how different I was. So we see once again the early days of, oh god, the prejudice must live in the world, and humanity sucks. Turns out I was the only one who managed to overcome their fear. The tribes who'd been leaving their unwanted babies here to die had finally realized that there were more than just buzzards surviving in the burned place. Yeah, they give way from fear to irrational hatred and don't even want to listen to reasoning. Must be human societies. Their minds, I feel rage. What is happening? Am I thought speaking? No time. All of you, go deeper into the caves and don't come out until I call you. He could have killed them all. Go! He could have torn their brains to bloody shreds. He could have smashed their bodies to pulp or compelled them to do it to one another. But that wasn't who the High Walker was. Calm your rage. We are not a threat to you. Please go back to your forest and leave us be. Yes, please. In the name of peace, I urge you to think cautiously and think about the long-term future of our tribes. He's, kill it with all your hatred! Kill it with all your hatred! And thus they threw rocks and spears. He didn't want to hurt them or control them. He wanted them to see the truth with their own ignorant eyes. And maybe they could have. Of so much hatred. White hot. They will hunt us forever. We have to, if it weren't for me. And she loses control. Firehair, no, do not hurt them. We can't give in to their fear and hatred. You have to control your. And he is probably stabbed in the chest. Because she was using her psionic abilities, destroying their minds. And yeah, this leads to a bloody massacre. I distracted him. He was so busy saving me that he forgot to save himself. The High Walker, no, And after he fell, there was no saving anyone. And thus the greatest battle at the first dawn of mutant-human relations began, and it ended with all people being slaughtered. All are punished. I was in his mind as he died. I was inside all their minds as they fought and slaughtered and lost control of their own powers and did as much damage to each other as they did to their enemies. My psychic awakening was a night of murder and death, and the worst of all possible thoughts, I don't know how it didn't kill me too. I lay there for a long time wishing it had. Then I stumbled through the carnage for hours, wondering if it was possible to kill yourself with your own mind, and realizing that the High Walker had been wrong about me. Nothing comes back from the dead, not really. Unless Marvel and DC decides to let them come back, unless they're super popular, in which case certain characters won't come back from Heroes in Crisis, but Roy Harper will, and there'll probably be 2 Poison Ivies running around. Not for long, at least. The buzzards would get their meal, the one they should have had all along. As I lay on the burnt ground, surrounding my flesh to feathered death, I suddenly asked myself for the very first time, how did the place come to be? What was it that had burned this ground so long ago? Burned it in such a way that nothing had ever grown here again? And what would happen if it ever came back? And the arrival of the Phoenix burns asunder! Yeah, that sounds about right. The Phoenix had burned its mark into my world years before, into many worlds, like a lure. My raw mutant power drew it to me, along with my potential for bloody ruin. It saw in me the chance to do what I was born to do, to burn planets to ash. I would have made it feel justified in doing so. My loss, my hunger for vengeance, and the cruelty of this world I was born into. Man deserved to burn before he could prosper and expand, and burn him, and I would. This world was infected, impure. Earth's corrupted evolution had to be stopped for the sake of the universe as a whole. Yeah, I'm kind of understanding that. I'm a misanthrope, so yeah. It would have been a righteous fire, making the entire earth into the burnt place. Humankind will never know how close they came to extinction while still in their crib. And then the wolf licks her hand, and making her remember, you saved me from the buzzards. And that they were saved by the love of a wolf. But now I'm the buzzard, aren't I? I can be better than that. Can't I? The world can be better than that. So we cut away from that emotional temperance version of the Phoenix to Asgard, because Asgard must exist. Ah, move, you bastard! Ah, you stubborn chunk of troll-tanned Udo! Never should have put that blasted mother storm inside you. Move, Mjolnir, you miserable mallet, how your all-father commands it! Asgard is under attack, and nothing we can seem to stop. And Odin's screwed. And thus we see another older version of Phoenix. Odin of Asgard, you may call me the Phoenix. I'm putting a team together to save the world from itself, and from people like you and me. You in? And enter the Phoenix. So it ends with her standing tall with her pack of wolves by her, growling at Odin, and because that says things. So let's see if I get this straight. So she decides to come in, burn the place to the ground a bit, kill probably several guards, just to cock to Odin and say, hey, do you want to join this team I'm putting together? You know, that generic line we nowadays use in superhero movies. Sorry, I probably killed some of your brethren, but I swear to you, I killed them all in self-defense. Yeah. I'm kind of a terrible person at times, aren't I? So, yeah. Avengers issue 39, also known as Legacy number 739. This was... Okay, so I know some people were getting... I heard some comments saying that they didn't like the whole 1 million BCE stories they're doing, but I kind of liked it for what it was. Like, yeah, it's different from the Avengers stuff. It goes more in detail in the origin of the first Phoenix user, but I enjoyed it. The artwork is rather crisp and comforting. And it feels natural for me, and especially in this setting. I'm wondering how it will be when the event goes down, because Marvel said also that there will be a rebirth next year for the Marvel universe after this Enter the Phoenix saga. So we'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, so I keep thinking we're gonna get like some backstory interwoven with the main story, because isn't Odin dead and Thor's the All Father because Donny Cates is writing him and Jason Aaron was writing him. Yeah. So yeah. And is this character coming back? I kind of want to see what she goes with and what became of her if the Phoenix consumed her. But yeah, we'll have to wait till Avengers 40 where the official start of it from the prologue happens. So yeah, pop culture omniverse, everyone. So and this was an enjoyable read. Loved it. Loved it. Can't wait to see what is unfolding for the Avengers in this saga. The Tale of the Phoenix. This was Near Reality, the presenting pop culture omniversa, all things entertainment. And feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check things out, check out my other channels. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace and take care, and beware of the Phoenix.